Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get trapped in a headlock and you're worried about smearing your lip gloss. You shoot her off and take a shoulder block. Do the leapfrog, give her a hip toss. On the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. One more. Sometimes you go over that top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Why do you do that? That's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, on the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Hey, double claps. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa, yay, Bob Squad. What's the good word? What's the skinny? How's it hanging? Some weather we're having. How's Tricks? How's the kids? How about the local sports team? What's going on, guys? What you been up to? What I've been up to? I didn't do a fun boxing in a little bit. I have a couple that I want to fun box. I do have a few on deck. I think the next one will be the Clawful Masters of the Universe Origins figure. I was about to do one, and then I saw a bunch of other people do it. I'm like, I don't want to do it now, but might as well just do it then. See if I can offer something different. Okay? I'll do my best. So that'll happen whenever that happens. But in the meantime, let's talk about the Hulu edition, not limited enough commercial interruption of Monday Night Raw. Oh, this was half and half. The stuff that was good on this was really, really great, and the stuff that was bad on this was god awful. So it was a mixed bag. It was definitely a mixed bag. It's like every, sometimes on Christmas or whenever you get the Hershey's miniature chocolates, and there's four kinds. There's regular Hershey, and there's Mr. Goodbar, and there's Crackle, which is like a Nestle's Crunch ripoff, and there's Special Dark, and there's it's that in those four kinds, and you eat them, and then you're left with a bunch of Special Darks at the end. And now those are pretty good, but the thing is, with the good bars and the Crackles, it's like, oh man, and if a regular Hershey you can just shove in your mouth. But that was like this Raw. It was a mixed bag. I'm gonna look at my notes. The show opens. Let's jump right into it. Let's waste no more time. The show opens with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. And part of this I wrote in pencil because I couldn't find a pen, so now I have trouble reading it because it's too light. Yes, there's a long package. They throw a long, blue-veined, thick package right over our shoulders while we're trying to eat of Cody Rhodes last week. I just tickled myself. Ew. The Miz is out. The Miz. And he's doing Miz TV. The talk show where they put the black carpet over the ring and there's chairs. Yay, one of those. So many of those. I think just Miz and Owens have them right now at the moment. But Edge had his, and Jericho had his. Christian had his. So those three combined two, that's 5. Alexa Bliss had one for a bit. I don't remember what the hell was it called, but I'm going to count that as 6. And she had the Playground segment 2 thing, which was just different. Didn't Bayley have one on SmackDown? I'm just going to go through all of them forever in a history of time, because I don't want to talk about Raw yet. Oh, yeah. Bayley had one, and the Brother Love show, I'm going way back. The Barber Shop, the Funeral Parlor, the Piper's Pit, the Flower Shop from Adrian Donis, the Snake Pit from Jake the Snake Roberts, the Heartbreak Hotel with Shawn Michaels in '94. Anyone remember that one? You shouldn't. The King's Court with Jerry Lawler. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. We don't need any more of those, right? We're done? We're good with those? We're done with those. Miz TV. So Miz is not bad here. He's being the Miz. There's still a fakeness about him that I just can't. Nah, I don't buy him. But anyway, he has Corey out. Jesus Christ. I just did that, huh? He has Cody Rhodes out. And Cody Rhodes, again, does the long entrance, but it's not as long and as milking as last week, so they curbed it. There's still a lot of goodwill they can get away with, but this one was helped by a couple of things. Miz was there to show his frustration at the entrance going too long, which made it fun for the entrance to go too long because you're aggravating a character we don't like, which is the Miz, so that's perfect. And Cody did this, and in his match later he did it too, both in this promo and during the match. Even more importantly, he showed babyface fire. And only two guys tonight showed babyface fire. The other one was AJ Styles, and Cody was showing the babyface fire during this entrance too, or this entrance first, and it really helped. It really helped. He wasn't too cool. So I liked that. I had a good time there. Cody and Miz, I guess they're going to wrestle tonight. And this is really to remind us that we're set up a rematch between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And there was a little bit back and forth where Cody used the word belt and Miz used the tired WWE line that fans hate. It's a title, it's not a belt. A belt holds up your pants. And fans know that's the tired WWE line, and that he's towing a company line, which makes him a bad guy, which is great. And then later, shortly after, Cody said wrestlers, and Miz corrected him and said superstars, and he got more mad this time, which I thought was wonderful. Hell, these two could have a longer feud or whatever, just on this. Like, I'm Mr. WWE guy, and you're Mr. Wrestling guy. Yeah, you could really do. I made a prediction. I'm making a bold prediction right now. A bold prediction. Are you ready, Mark? No. I like addressing people individually when we do this. Not soon. Maybe this year, late this year, early next year, but I don't know. At some point, Vince McMahon will have Cody say belt and wrestler and all the words that the wrestlers are not allowed to say on TV. And McMahon will have Cody be a heel doing it because he thinks fans don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I think he's that out of touch. That he's going to have Cody be a heel but try to use old wrestling terms that he banned because he thinks fans agree with him. Does that make sense? So, I don't know what episode we're on right now of Hardest Part of the Ring. 161, 162, I think. Well, 161, I think sounds right. But whatever. But maybe late before we hit 200. Wouldn't that be funny if that comes to fruition? But anyway, the Miz and Cody are going to wrestle later on tonight, and they set that up, and you have to have some physicality, and this was good too, because the babyface isn't getting one over on the heel by saying his catchphrase last and all the stupid sports entertainment horse shit. Miz makes a little move. He charges Cody. Cody sidesteps him. Doesn't hit him with a move or lay him out, because then what's the point of having a match? He just sidesteps him, and Miz goes out of the ring through the second rope. I think he landed on his feet, or maybe he took a tumble and got right back up and got pissed off. Either one of those would have been fine. And so one of those two things happened, I forget. And we end it right there. Miz tried a sneaky thing, and Cody looked out for him. So our babyface fired up. He did pander, and Cody can go along with the pandering, and he does, but he had the Miz to get mad at the pandering to make it okay. So he fired up, and he outsmarted the Miz. The babyface actually outsmarted someone for once. Oh my goodness, what a novel idea. A babyface who's not stupid, so we can continue to cheer him, because we don't want to cheer for stupid people. A babyface can be trusting and idealistic and hopeful and optimistic and get betrayed that way. But he should learn after that. It's okay for Hulk Hogan to have his best friend jump on him, or his best friend turn on him when they've been best friends for 20-something years. Like with Brutus. I can't believe I'm bringing this up from 94 WCW. But, yeah, babyface can have his best friend turn on him, because why would he see that coming? But after that, he's got to be not as trusting or cautiously optimistic, because otherwise he's a dumbass. You can't make him be a dumbass and be like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football, and Lucy takes the football away every single time and hits him in the testicles with it. I think that's what happened. I don't remember. So that set that up. Veer is here, and he has no fear. And it's a shame I stopped drinking beer, because I had to watch Veer. So, Veer and his great teeth, I think he has veneers. Veer, no, I don't know. I didn't look at his teeth. He wrestles Dominic Mysterio, beats him very, very quickly. Rey Mysterio is not there. Veer has a wacky, like a submission, a sideways neck crank from a camel clutch position gimmick thing. It looks twisting. It's not the same thing Rusev used to do exactly, so that's good, because that would look silly. And he won't let go of the hold. And he does let go of the hold. He puts the hold back on. They stretcher out Dominic. And Veer is a monster. Very good. I've had nothing negative to say yet. Sit back. I'm not as jokey today. Actually, I want to review this wrestling show because it's on my mind. An Irish guy talks to Veer. An Irish guy walks into a bar and he sees Veer having a beer. And Veer said he doesn't fear anybody or something. Something about ripping the heart out of men. I don't fear the hearts of men or something. Anyway, we're still backstage. And this is my favorite segment of the night. And it lasted... Wait, was this the one I wanted? I don't know. I can't read my own writing, guys. This is unfortunate. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. The best segment of the night, and it lasted 1 minute tops. I don't even think it lasted a full minute. It was wonderful. Pro wrestling done. All the little things were done correctly. I'll tell you what happened. A blonde lady is there. We're off to a good start. And she's talking to AJ Styles, and he has a bag because he has things. He has gear and maybe some snacks and maybe a bottle of water to stay hydrated to prevent fatigue and headaches, and maybe a book to read to pass the time. I don't know what he has in his bag. None of my business. That's not important right now. But he's not talking. He's like a 1 or 2 sentences in about he's mad at Damien Priest and Edge, and he reminds us that Damien was saying stuff about AJ's family. I don't remember what Damien said, to be honest with you. Or maybe Edge said it and Damien's backing him up. But either way, AJ says 1 or 2 things. He says it naturally, and he reminds us. He just talks like a regular guy. A regular guy who should be pissed off at these other guys. And sure enough, he gets distracted. And he looks and he just sees Damien just walking. Damien's not walking to him. Damien doesn't see him. He's just walking. He's looking down maybe at his phone or scratching his balls or whatever the hell he's doing. Maybe he's drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper, which tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper. And maybe Damien Priest is going to Coca-Cola.com/Dr. Pepper and enter the promo code Bob Squad and nothing happens, and that's why he's looking at his phone. He's perplexed. Anyway, AJ Styles sees this and he doesn't say shit. He doesn't yell. He doesn't say, "Hey, you, this is my catchphrase." Instead, he drops his bag and he just walks past blonde lady, and he just doesn't even spin Damien around, doesn't yell, just jumps him from behind and just punches him around. And he punches him a few times, and Damien is shooken, and he's the heel anyway, so he shouldn't be beating AJ in this exchange. But the babyface is justified in the sneak attack because these guys were being shitty and attacking him and talking a lot of shitty shit during this shit. So they get pulled apart really quickly. Like the referees, not too quickly, but the referees and officials, a couple run out real quick, and then like 2 referees or whatever it was come out and they yell for more help, and then more help comes a few seconds later. Like it should happen. Not 5 minutes of a long attack with no one doing anything. 1 camera shot. I love this. It wasn't the back and the duel. Hey, Austin Theory needs to talk to Vince McMahon for 2 minutes, so let's have 3 camera shots. No, this had 1 camera shot, and it was clearly handheld because the guy was shaking. And I usually hate shaky cameras. I feel the same sickness a lot of people do, but this worked because that's how you would follow this. It didn't make sense it would be filmed this way. It should be filmed in a chaotic. It wasn't shaky. The guy wasn't violently moving the camera around like Kevin Dunn has guys do when they're getting punched on the outside of the ring. But the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. No, this was just dudes trying to follow the action, and we're catching all we can catch. We even miss some of it, but we catch most of it. And they get pulled apart really quickly. And this segment could not have gone 60 seconds. But it was 2 men acting like men fighting each other over a problem. And we know they have a match later on, or which is next. And now, I want to see them fight. I want to see them fight now. And we did. And man, they had a good match. So by the way, just whoever was producing the segment, they know their shit. They're doing the right things and listening to the right people. Whoever had whoever had their hands on this. And you have AJ's a complete pro, so he knows what's going on. At this point, I'm sure he's going to speak up and make things right. Damien Priest and AJ Styles have a very good match, and people were into it. And I think it had something to do, because we know the live crowd has to sit through all these videos. They saw that great little 45-second exchange or whatever it was. They saw that and they're like, okay, cool, we're going to see a fight now. We saw a great match. When AJ does his dive over the top rope, he doesn't... If this were AEW, babyface is pissed off at the heel, the babyface would teach the heel a lesson by turning around and doing a cute little backflip with an elegant ballet pose onto the guy and graze his shoulder and hurt himself more than a guy. No, AJ jumps over the top rope. He comes down with a fist or a forearm. I'm going to come down while I'm looking at you the whole time, eyeball to eyeball, and punch you in the motherfucking head. Like a pro wrestler. Like a baby face who is pissed off. And he's going to show you that he has balls now. So AJ and Cody, clap, 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 clap. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Cody does a very good job shortly after this. We'll get back to that. But AJ and Damien, and then this finish happened. How do I do this? I don't. Damien Priest is in the middle of the ring, and AJ Styles is outside of the ring. And the lights start going down, section by section, and then there's a blue wacky spotlight in the middle of the ring, and Damien Priest kneels down and makes a spooky face. And AJ just stops attacking him for some reason, and we cut to break. And of course, when we come back, it's over. No one knows what happened. Now, again, this is the Hulu edition, so I don't know what they did. Did they turn the lights on and Damien Priest was missing? Did they just go to break? I don't know. Either way, the match was stopped due to spooky lights. So much good was done before this. So much good work. By AJ and by Damien and by whoever put that first backstage segment together. The match, I'm giving all the credit to the boys. I don't care who their agent or producer is. I don't give a flying fuck. AJ Styles knows what the hell to do. It's going to be good. Damien he can follow just fine. Damien Priest is 40 years old and he's pledging his allegiance to a 47-year-old man. Why? What went wrong in your life, dude? You're on TV. People should be pledging their allegiance to you. You're athletic and on TV at 40 years old. We should be asking you for advice, Damien, you stupid idiot. And I mentioned the pledging allegiance thing to the flag for One Public. No. Because during the match they had a picture-in-picture promo with Damien looking straight in the camera, reciting garbage somebody wrote, saying you have to... I pledge my allegiance to Edge, and that's why. And let me tell you, and it made no sense because he saw Edge bash AJ's brains in with a chair weeks ago, and then decided to pledge his allegiance to a guy who just told you he turns his back on everybody. So Damien's a dumbass? No one understands it. I'm not going to ask. That pissed all over imagine a wonderful meal, whether it's a grilled steak or a wonderful chicken sandwich or some sushi, and everything cannot be nicer. And then the waiter unzips his pants and pulls his wiener out and urinates on your sushi. That's what this spooky lighting did to that match and that segment before it. You pulled your wiener out and you urinated on the sushi. That's what you did. Don't do that. Ruins the food. And the whole dining experience. The Miz wrestles. What's wrong with you today, Bob? The Miz wrestles Cody Rhodes. The bell rings, and before the lockup, we have to bring out Seth. Oh, good God. You couldn't let it breathe. You just couldn't let anything breathe. Right away. But anyway, Cody enters again, and he gives his weight belt to a kid, and he's taking even less time. So every time we see Cody, he actually gets to the ring quicker. And he did remind us during the Miz thing that he wants to be Universal Champion as his ultimate goal. He never names Roman, but we're getting there. So, and keep in mind that the words at the beginning of his song he says something about more than one royal family of wrestling or something like that. Okay, so Bloodline, Rhodes, yada 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 yada. Miz versus Cody Rhodes was very, very good. Miz had to step it up and put his working shoes on a little bit. And Cody, it was great. He was firing up. And at one point, he's daring Miz to hit me harder. It's almost like he's not just doing the moves, but he's, God forbid, actually reacting instead of just acting. Like you're supposed to do when you're working. That's what a worker does. Working is not wrestling. They don't mean the same thing. That's a long thing for another day. And work rate is a fake word that Meltzer made up. But, yeah. I have no complaints here. Again, this is one of the best things on the show. Cody wins with his finish. I do want to add a note. This is the second time. This is the second time now. Once at WrestleMania and once on this Raw. Cody didn't use it as a finish, but he does his Cody Cutter, which is basically an RKO, but Cody's usually jumping off of the rope or back. But he's still doing Randy's move. I'm surprised it made it this far. We'll put it that way. Surprised. But who knows? Cody wins. Seth is on a microphone. He accepts the rematch challenge, and then he laughs in his face, and he leaves, and he plays Seth's music, because Cody Rhodes won the match. I take a sip of Pepsi Zero. Hang on. That is good Pepsi Zero. Austin Theory. Oh, shit. I almost made it with a straight face. Austin Theory arrives, and he sees Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. And Theory cuts them off and says, "No more Austin, it's just Theory now." Alright. I'm not going to go off a big long thing. We've seen it with Riddle, and Buddy Murphy became Murphy. And, oh god, I think Sheamus is one of them. And Rusev and Cesaro and, I don't know, a bunch of others. I can't think of them right now. And I'm not going to do the old man rant on it. You know why I hate it. You know why it's dumb. There's no point in agonizing over this one. It's a running gag at this point. I will say this. This is the only one of these where I can remember that the guy getting his name shortened out of nowhere said something about it, and they made it seem like it was the character's idea, so this way we don't blame Vince for being stupid, but we know. They made it seem like it's the dumb guy's dumb idea. So, okay. And he insisted. So at least there's some, albeit brief, but there's some acknowledgement that the past happened. Like he says, yes, I know you call me Austin Theory, now you can call me Theory. Well, okay. As dumb as it may be, at least they acknowledge and instead of just pretending he was always called Theory, it's something. I'm trying to find a silver lining. Anyway, Kevin Owens walks into the shot, and he's complaining that Ezekiel is really Elias and not his younger brother, and they look at him like he's crazy, and then Kevin Owens tells him next week he wants to ask Ezekiel, and he wants a lie detector machine there, and then he insists that Adam and Sonya pay for it, and they agree, it was just an added touch, and I love that. Okay. This did not air on Hulu, but supposedly Tommaso Ciampa made his official Raw debut, and he was just standing there between Ezekiel and Kevin Owens' nonsense, and it actually had nothing to do with Tommaso Ciampa. And he said, 2 words, that's Ezekiel. And then, yeah, so that was a waste of time. I don't know if Tommaso Ciampa wrestled. It was not on Hulu. Let's move on. Zelena and Carmela have a package, and they show Carmela's Instagram wedding, or her wedding, a picture from Instagram, rather. Okay, very good. And Zelena is Queen Zelena. She cuts a quick promo where she's British, or she's from Queens for a few seconds, like she's supposed to be, but then now she's British again, because Vince McMahon thinks kings and queens only come from England. Zelena wrestles Bianca Belair. Bianca's awesome. I love Bianca. The gear she was wearing should be reserved for live events. That was not as sparkly and shiny. It was like a bland black and white checker or black and gray checker thing. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not Bianca. Bianca shines, goddammit. You're a star. Shine, goddammit. Wear that shit to Omaha. Zelena and Bianca had a good match. It was, I don't think it was very long. because the thing that came after was way too long. Zelena hit all the moves she possibly could. She was crafty. But Bianca, too much of an athlete, too much of a powerhouse. Bianca beats her 1, 2, 3. Thank you for coming, Zelena. Sonya Deville. Oh, this took 18 days. Sonya Deville runs out, doesn't run out, takes her sweet time. And she tells Bianca, takes a long time, telling Bianca, hey, you need an opponent. Your opponent could be one of these 8 people I'm going to list, but it's not. And your opponent's coming out right now. And sure enough, Sonya jumps her from behind, and Sonya beats her up and signs the contract herself. So Sonya, the rule maker, commissioner, authority figure role, gives herself a title opportunity. A title shot at the belt, which they would hate. I mean, but the way I described it was, it should have taken that long. But yeah, this took forever. Sonya introduced you knew this was coming. She introduced the next women's wrestler as someone who broke gender barriers. How? By doing what? And she defied traditional gender norms. No, you didn't. Sonya, there's other lesbians, okay? You just, and it's great that you're out and you're being you, but you didn't. That's not an achievement. You just are that, and that's cool, and you should have those equal rights, and I want you to have them. But that's not a thing. Like this, you didn't break any. What norms did you break? Because you wear suits to formal events instead of dresses. Well, okay, cool. No one gives a shit. Way to make it your whole personality. Oh, okay, I said that. It's not an achievement, it's just who you are. And it should be respected, but it's not an accomplishment. Okay. Now that I made that weird. So it's going to be Sonya. And anyway, Sonya's backstage with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce yells at her, and she's a complete bitch to Adam Pearce and can get away with it, even though I thought he was her superior. She says something to him about, hey, I'm still in my peak, because he's like an old indie guy. And moving on, RK Bro is there, and they wrestle Alpha Academy, and they win. I fast forwarded. These are 2 great teams. I just can't watch any more of it. The finish. Well, I fast forward to the finish. Orton wiggles out of a backslide from Gable, hits the RK Bro, the RKO on Chad Gable. 1, 2, 3. Very good. A big car arrives on the Titantron, or whatever the big screen is called nowadays. I don't know. And Usos get out of it. Very good. The Usos make their way to the ring, and they took a dump on the floor. And I don't know what did. I forgot, so I just said that. That's not what happened. It would have been more interesting. We'd be talking about that right away. The Usos get in the RK Bros' face, and they want to challenge them to some tag match where they unify the tag titles, just like Brock and Roman unified the big thing at the Big Thing show, whatever. The Street Profits come out, and oh god, this was terrible. This was so bad. So bad. The Street Profits came out, and they both fumbled some words, and why wouldn't they? And because they're given this, they're just talking and nothing but catchphrases. And then the Usos are doing it too. And this is Orton, and Orton's so smart. And I know it's not him and Riddle's turn to talk anyway, I get it, but he's not a dummy. When dumb shit is happening on TV, on the screen, he's pretty good about sidestepping whatever dumb shit is happening on the screen. Like, I'm not getting any of this on me, as they say. So Profits and Usos trade phrases, and this sets up a Profits versus Uso match. Basically, Orton interrupts and says, all this talking is really stupid. Why don't you just fight? Which is what everyone's thinking. So, of course, Orton's going to get the applause and the unofficial thanks there for the audience. We go to a break, and they tell us real quick next week, Theory will defeat Finn Balor for the U.S. Championship. And we have a tag match. The main event is the Street Profits versus the Usos. Okay. Again, I fast forward to the end. I've seen this a lot of times. This is all I can saw. The Montez Ford does this one crazy spot I did catch, where he dives over the top rope, or the ring apron's the hardest part of the ring. Crashes on a Uso and lands on his feet and lands right in front of Orton and Riddle and does this shimmy and shaken which now I know they're gonna make him do 98 times because it was so colorful and over the top and ridiculous that it works awesome once and stupid every other time you do it because then it's forced. This looked a lot more spontaneous. So he's gonna do it forever, so it's not spontaneous because it's WWE. Let's sterilize everything. Goddamn. You could put our show in your mouth during oral surgery because it's that sterile. Okay. And the tag matches, the Usos win with the 3D or the 1D, but they win with the Dudley's finish. They've been using that, which is another cutter, which is another one. So Usos and Cody are doing cutter moves. Usos are doing it in a program with Orton. So that's interesting. Oh, you know what? They can't have Usos win the fucking unified tag champ. Oh god, they're gonna do that. I don't think they should. I think it makes Raw look really stupid, and which is hard to do considering what the program I just described to you. And this is a 3-hour program. But I think the best thing is for RK Bro to beat the Usos 2-on-2, no 3 or 4 team things. And Riddle should pick up one Uso for the 3D move, and Orton catches him. He does the cutter part, so it's still an RKO. And there you go. That's the finish. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I almost said Cornette's thing. I'll say it anyway because I love Cornette. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Hold on. Okay. That was good Pepsi Zero. So that was Raw. There was some really, really good, and there was some really, really bad. And the good was done by the babyfaces. And it was done by the pros. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. And Randy Orton always does good. Always does. But I can't think of anybody else. This show... Maybe that's what they're trying to do with Cody. But a top singles babyface star is what this show needs. Now I think something, and it didn't make Hulu, but I'm assuming Lashley did something with MVP. I think I saw on Twitter he wrecked MVP. MVP I guess was gonna have a talk segment. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the VIP lounge. That would have been another one. The VIP lounge, and I think Lashley wrecked it or something. Because they got to do Lashley and Omos again. I don't know. I thought forgetting about Omos and Lashley on his own, on his way to Roman, would have been a good one pay-per-view after Mania type of thing. Like, okay, Lashley will be the keep Roman busy guy. Because they all will, but I don't know. It feels like, because Orton is the biggest star regularly on the program, and Orton's in a tag, so Cody and AJ are your big baby faces, and AJ is not quite getting his comeuppance yet. Cody still has to look strong. Like Cody has to be winning and looking good at the end of the night, but just not too good. But I can't believe I'm praising Cody this much. He comes out in a suit, so he's dressed like you can take him seriously. Despite the ugliness of the neck tattoo, he carries himself so well in all the other ways that I think it's one of those wrestling things we're just going to get so used to it we don't see it. And then someone who never watches wrestling will watch for 2 seconds and go, what in the Sam hell is that thing? And you notice Miz did not take a shot at the tattoo, because if anyone does right now, while Cody's supposed to be a babyface, it might fuck him up. Because I thought that was an easy shot, and it wasn't taken, so that's interesting. Just a note there. But, oh well. Yeah. But you can't do Cody Roman too soon, because if Cody loses, and he will lose, guess what? And Cody's done. If Cody makes it till SummerSlam or a little after, I think, then okay, Cody can lose and still be okay, because we built up enough steam behind him. But You don't want to see Cody turn into like Drew McIntyre and Lashley and when Big E, honestly. Hell, like, Cody's booked better now than Big E when Big E was champion. Anyway, that's all we got for the hardest part of the ring. More videos will come. I took a mini break, guys, from toy vids, but I didn't take a break from filming toys. I completed in 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I did the first 10 minutes of the Batman versus the Snake Eyes, which is unheard of. That's like a record for me of how much I got done. And so I was working on that, and I didn't do fun boxings or whatever, just because I wanted to do that. I've watched other main toy channels, and they kind of put me in a bad mood. So I can't listen to a lot of them anymore. I don't care what camp it is or what side. It doesn't. No one's acting well, and I was just so sick of it. I'm like, I just don't even want to contribute to uploading a toy video right now. I'd rather put my energy into making one that I want to see. And that's what I did. So to get 10 minutes of that thing done, this was like several hours. It was a big chunk of Friday night, but really mostly Saturday day and night, and Sunday day and night of editing, and then Monday last night I filmed a smaller scene and did the audio for that today. So I'm still working on toy stuff. But yeah, we're due for another fun boxing very soon. Give me a day or two. I'll get something going. I thank you very much, Bob Squad, for joining me on the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.